Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Gooners podcast. This has been so long. There has been a lot of personal issues or personal situations that has happened. So has not been very consistent. As usual, we will promise about being consistent and not not be consistent. but yeah, this is great to talk about Arsenal again. So got today with me Arun. Hi Arun.
Hello.
And Deepak. Hi Deepak.
Hello.
And for everyone who are still supporting us despite not being consistent enough, thank you so much for your support, and please do continue supporting. We'll try my best to continue posting it or continue being inconsistent, inconsistently consistent, whatever that is. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, and comment in and all those things. So today, since we are getting back, we are supposed to talk about the Manchester City versus Arsenal game. But I thought we'll just catch up a little bit on Arsenal things before we talk about the game. Um, I'll start with Deepak. Deepak, Arsenal into Champions League, Arsenal still in the title race, 10 games, 9 games to go. How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. During the start of the season, I said we would win the title, and we are on track for not on track. Yeah, we are on track, of course. So I think yeah, I'm happy with the way the season has gone, bar that idiotic December which we had, probably, yeah, but which was bound to happen. And yeah, and the way we have responded after that after the Dubai break has been like phenomenal. So I'm very happy with how we have been performing. Even if we don't win the title or anything, the season has been pretty great. So this would be like a stepping stone, and we are probably the biggest challenges for City next season, given that Klopp is going. We saw in this game as well, we are how far we have come from previous season.
I don't see, the thing is, last season at the same point we were still in title race too. But this season it feels so different because like last season, even though we were playing more attractive and all those things in phases, the underlying numbers were still not that great. But this season we feel that the underlying numbers, the way we have played, like even for the City game, right? Like when we went into the game, I did not fear City, like not about like 5-0 and stuff. I didn't fear that last year too. Like I did not fear that we'll go for a 5-0, 5-1 and all those things last year too. But this year I genuinely thought we could get some result out of Etihad. Not like win, but some result, or we would give a very good fight at Etihad. Is that a fair statement of how we are this season?
Definitely. You're absolutely right. For the first time, I didn't feel like scared about going to the Etihad, or like feeling that we are going to forget about getting battered. I knew that we were not going to lose. So that was like very clear in the way in which the season has spanned out, and the way in which our players are playing more than anything. Even if City had played with Walker and Stones, we would have like definitely not lost this game. That's how I felt. A big again, like you can talk about all the opposition, like all the players that they've lost and all that, but we can only play with what we have, what isn't right in front of us, and the confidence that this team has given to me over the last 10 games that we played this year, 8 in the league and 2 in the Champions League, has made me really believe that we could even make a win, and if you actually recall the game, there were more opportunities for us, more clear-cut opportunities
Yeah.
for us to actually win the game than for City. You can complain all you want about like us playing a low block and all, but that was definitely not the plan. We were pushed it that far behind because of how aggressively City were playing. I was happy with the way in which we adapted to that. Like we did not panic. and we did not like try anything that we normally do in terms of trying to press when we needn't have to press, lose the ball and see City score 3 or 4 against us. Everyone's talking about the fact that we had 25% possession, but we were the ones who had 2 shots on target.
Yep.
We had like 4 shots, and then they had like what, 6 or 8 shots, but they had one on target. Like the onus was more on City to take control of the game and score goals because it was their home game. And if you're going to blame the away team for like what City did, that's just masking what City failed to do and just putting all the light on us, like which makes no sense to me.
The thing is, right, like Arteta, I think in his post-match interview, he was saying about the same thing, right? Like, so the plan was to go there and get a result. I mean, the thing was, he was saying that during the pre-game talk, he was mentioning to the players that he wanted them to play in such a way to be chasing the ball for 30 passes and get the ball, and then, I mean, I'm paraphrasing here, but like give it back and then again be ready to chase another 30 passes. Like 30 passes, give the ball away, get the ball, then give it again, and then you would have to chase another 30 passes. That's the mentality with which he set the players up. That's what he said. So, Deepak, about the starting lineup, when Arteta says that, and then you see one major change in the starting lineup, right? Like, which is bringing in Gabriel Jesus into the starting lineup. Was Jesus brought into this lineup to do that? The 30 passes, like someone who would chase. We saw that Martinelli was fit. I don't know how fit he was, and we saw that Trossard was fit. So bringing in Gabriel Jesus after like a break, and he hasn't played a lot in the last couple of weeks, bringing into Etihad where he starts, is that a lot of pressure on him? Is that why maybe a lot of fans were not happy with his performance, that he didn't finish some chances, he did not do enough?
Yeah, obviously, I don't think there's a lot of pressure on him. He is supposed to lead us to the title. I don't know what kind of pressure he has to be on. But yeah, I expected him to start, given that it's against City. He has a point to prove, obviously. And then I don't think so. Trossard, like you said, presses as insistently there, like Jesus. And Martinelli wasn't fit enough for sure, which we knew. So the obvious option was Jesus. I think he did okay. Uh, but yeah, the thing is, we knew that he is not a great finisher. And there were 2 chances, I think two, right? Yeah, 2 chances. And I was like screaming at the TV, like, man, shoot, man, why are you dribbling like 4 or 5 times in the box? Uh, but yeah, we did play well. Uh, we could have nicked the win for sure. But yeah, I'm happy with the draw. Yeah.
So, yeah, happy with the draw is one thing, right? Like, and the second thing was that the whole talk about the City and our low block and all those things. I don't for this
Yeah,
game
they
especially.
will complain about that low block. We are not like Liverpool, right? We don't have the dynamic counter-attacking philosophy. We literally play like City. We want to
Yeah.
dominate. Yeah. We are not like Liverpool, or like we are not like Manchester United.
So that's the
Those are
problem.
teams which give you, like, if you give 2 chances, like proper counter-attacking chances, they will score a goal. If that chance went to Manchester United, right, the Trossard chance, for 100% sure they would have scored a goal. They are like built like that, Manchester United
Yeah,
and
but before
Liverpool.
that, they would have conceded 4 goals.
Yeah,
The
that is
current
there.
Manchester United, definitely.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? Like, especially when you go to City, when you go to like these places, the bigger question is, do we play our own game? Because back from Wenger days, we always thought like, oh, we should play our own game wherever we go. Doesn't matter. We should try and dominate the ball. We should try and do this. But this seems to be like, even I think Arteta did that a couple of times. Like, we went on away fixtures in Europe and we always tried to play our game, and it kind of backfired a couple of times. So the way we played this game kind of reminded that we took lessons from the Porto game. Like, we were trying to play hard, We were trying to make those fouls and get away with it, which was another thing that people kept saying, right? Like we were getting away with too many fouls. We were getting away with too much of, like, Gabriel was pulling the shirt of Holland left, right, and
Yeah,
center.
it was rich coming from City players, the fact that like we were
We have been
making
doing this
tactical
for
fouls.
7 years, 8 years.
Your game is based on tactical fouls. Like I don't understand. Their game is based on the moment someone tries to put something together, they'll make a clean tactical foul over there, and they're complaining when we do the same. For me, like this, for me was as a fan, as an Arsenal fan, for me this was great to see because the manager was very pragmatic. Like you spoke about Wenger right now. Wenger probably did not achieve as much as he could have achieved because of the lack of pragmatism. And he's not the only or the first manager to have gone through that path. Like, a lot of great managers, because of their failure to be pragmatic, I could even say Klopp. Like the very fact that Klopp has just won one title is probably due to the fact that I'm going to play the way I play and there's going to be no modifications. We did not play a low block. It was very hybrid because teams that play low block don't try to play out from the back. They don't try to press that high up on the pitch when the opposition is having the ball. They don't try to do all of these things. We played in a way that was very much required for this game because we are playing against a team, like Deepak said, whose basic blueprint is very similar to ours. Controlling zones, controlling position, making sure that you do not give chances, like reducing the chances for the opposition is what both teams try to do. You do not want to give them even the slightest of a chance to score a goal. All, like whenever City or any team plays against a low block team, they get opportunities to get into the box. We do not allow them to get into the box. A low block team doesn't do that. So, like, you can say all that you want about like football not progressing and we're doing all this. I loved it because this is what I want to see from my manager. Like, you have to be able to adapt to the situation that you are put in. You need to be Wenger when you have to be, and you also need to be George Graham when you have to be. For me, like I see Arteta as being like learning from the managers that he's played under. Like, there was Moyes ball, there was Wenger ball, like, and he is like doing all of this in a way that doesn't compromise too much on the quality that you see on the pitch.
Very high praise, very, very high praise.
No, this is true. This is true. I mean, this is really true. Like the way in which we are playing, like smaller teams know that they have to be inside their box if they want to get a result out of us. And even then, they know that the chances of them conceding is much higher against us than against any other team. Similarly, this Etihad is the only place where we played this way. We did not play like this at Anfield. We are not going to play like this. We did not play like this at Stamford Bridge. We are not going to play like this at either OT or at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So this is like a clash of principles, and you need to be like the players were mentally tired. They were not physically tired. That's the levels of concentration that this game required, and it was not only for us. Their team was also mentally tired at the end of the game. So if you're going to like point the finger at one team and say that, oh, you brought the quality of football down, just a simple stat. Liverpool went to Etihad in November. They drew the game 1-1 because this was coming a lot from Liverpool fans. Oh, we went to Etihad and we played football and you guys didn't do it.
They should have lost that match badly.
They scored 1-1. The score was 1-1 and their XG was 0.5. Ours was 0.6 yesterday. Yep. And City's was 0.8. Similarly, you take the other game that they played, and this is like, mind you, the people who talk really don't understand like the importance of this game because this is happening in end of March, April. Yep. The final run-in, title run-in. We are not going to go kumbaya and go all out and like, yeah, City, come on, take your chances and score. We're not going to do that. Last season when we played at Emirates against them, we had 65% of possession. We lost the game 3-1. No one praised us for having 65% of possession or like putting up a fight against City. No one did that. Same thing, Liverpool, last season, they played City in April. I was like really pissed last night. I was rewatching the game and I was going through all of these stats. They did the same thing. They were beaten 4-1. And the same thing happened. But no one talks about this because it's Arsenal. Everyone needs to talk about Arsenal. For me, it was like a fantastic game that we played, especially the first half was extremely good.
I don't remember Haaland doing anything in the game. I don't remember Kevin De Bruyne doing anything in the game. I don't remember. And
The fear that we have, like for Arsenal fans, Kevin De Bruyne has given us a lot of bad memories.
Yeah.
Like this game, after a point in time in the first half, I was like, oh, okay, the ball's going to him. He's probably going to try to put the ball in and nothing's going to come out of it.
Yeah.
That's how confident I was. And Haaland, I was like not worried about him at all. So
and
I
Phil
was more
Foden
worried
had
about
nothing. He was filled
nothing.
off.
But you see the stats
only
that
player,
come out are Saka 70 minutes, 0 goals, 0 pass. What did Phil Foden do? Nothing. Nobody talks about it. And still they are saying that he's the best player in the league this season.
I don't
I
think
mean,
so.
like narratives are
No.
like, it makes no sense to me sometimes.
as usual, like the only player City like you had to be worried about was Bernardo Silva,
That
and
he was the
City
only one
fans
that I
don't
was
worry.
worried about. Yeah, he was the only one that I was like, because he is very intelligent and he dropped down exactly like I thought. He dropped down to play, and I knew he could make something happen, but we negated him as well.
And the best thing was like City has to make a change. Like we forced them to make the changes when we like after the halftime. Pep made the changes. He brought in Rico Lewis. Is it Rico Lewis?
No,
That
Rico Lewis
was
came in
due
for
to
Oh no.
Ake
injury.
Yeah,
injury.
Yeah,
but he brought in
Grealish and
Doku and
Yeah.
Grealish. Yeah, so he brought them both on, and the best thing is we counteracted both those moves, and we had
Yeah.
players to do that. Like we brought in. I mean, Tomiyasu was bit of like he was bit off when he came in, but he grew into the game. But then like Partey came in. I was pleasantly surprised to see the substitutions happening on time for the first time. But that proves a point, right? Like that kind of gives you that City for the first time, or like even last year they respected us, but for the first time they respected us enough to make the changes like early and make the changes to hurt us, and we made the changes to counteract that, and they did not have an answer for that, right? So, I mean, great game. But for me, two things stood out. One is literally the two center backs I need to talk about. One I felt was that Saliba didn't have his best game, even though he got his man of
Man
the
of the match.
play. Yeah, man of the match. I think he felt a little bit off in both Porto game and this game. And with the comment from Deschamps that, oh, Saliba doesn't play the way I want to, or he's not that good, or something like that.
who cares?
No, but still, like it. I mean, we could say who cares as an Arsenal fan. You could say that, but I just wanted to know, like, apart from being an Arsenal fan, if you step out of that Arsenal fan mold for a minute, do you guys think that Saliba is still not good enough? I feel he is very good when I compare it to other center backs in the league in the world right now. I put him in top 5 just based on like how I see the game. But do you guys
No.
what do you think of Saliba and the
You mean
comments from
top
Deschamps?
5 in the world?
Yeah,
I don't think so. He's still not there at in top 5. There are like so many better CBs in Serie A, and even like Premier League. Van Dijk is far like away from him. Van Dijk is too good, and there are like a couple of things. But yeah, he's still growing. He's just 22,
yeah.
so he has time on his side. And this partnership with Gabriel, right? It's growing a lot. They complement each other a lot.
Mhm.
So yesterday, Haaland decided he's not going to get anything out of Saliba. He was completely targeting Gabriel, and now he has realized that he's not going to get anything from that side as well. So he is he doesn't want to play as probably, but yeah, Haaland can come back and score goals and things. But just praising Saliba, right? It doesn't feel right for me. Gabriel has been as important to us,
Exactly.
or
For me, he's the
probably
player
even
of
more
the
important.
season for us. Yeah. For me, he's the player of the season for us. Yeah.
He complements Saliba well. Then people say like Gabriel plays well because of Saliba, but I see it as the other way around. Or like we don't even need to separate them. They are the best center back pairing of this league without a doubt. And I don't want to separate them and say Saliba is the greater of these two. We are lucky to have them both, and we should be happy with that. Like from the days of Mustafi and Kolachi, all those shit.
Yeah,
I was
that's the thing, right? I think people were expecting us to bend over and get completely ass big by because they were and it seems like they are not able to take the fact that we are able to defend and stand our own when we go to places like this.
I mean,
So like that,
I was looking at the last 5 goal defeat to City, and our back line read Cedric Soares, Mustafi, Chambers, Holding,
that's so
and
depressing,
Tierney,
isn't it?
and Tierney. From that
It's
day,
very depressing.
give me all day Saliba and Gabriel partnership. But Arun,
Yeah.
like talking about Gabriel though, right? Like, I mean, yes, he is very impressive and stuff. But what happened? I don't know. I didn't read anything about like what happened between him and Holland. Like at the end of the game, they still had like words to talk about to each other.
They made up. They made up at the end.
Yeah, they did. But still, like there was that fiery moment. I was very scared at that moment because I was going like, oh my God, we have seen this a lot. Our defenders being goaded, being pulled into a conversation, pulled into things, and we get a card or we get some stupid decision against us. Very scared.
No. Gabriel mentally is way stronger, and the thing with the players that we have right now is it's not just smoke. They back it with performances. Like a Gabriel or a Saliba doing it. It's the simple example is the Liverpool game. When we played Liverpool at the Emirates, we went 1-1 into the half, and that was like a really, really bad like defensive error from our side that gifted them the goal. They came back out to the second half and they played like they normally do. There was no nervousness. There was no like, oh my God, I've made a mistake. I shouldn't be like doing anything again. Or like, even if when either of these two or both of these two guys get a card, they play really well. So I was not worried at all. I was in fact enjoying it. I was like loving seeing like Haaland being rendered completely ineffective. Like ineffective is the word. Like, across 3 games that we played against them this season, his combined expected goals is 0.24. That's how much like he had a chance at the end, but like he fluffed it. Probably he was more nervous. He was rattled by what we were doing to him, So I wasn't worried at all at any point. Honestly, I wasn't worried at all at any point.
Deepak, last thing about the game though, right? Like people are talking about that missed chance that Trossard should have created for Martinelli and all those things. For me, yes, half chances in these games count a lot, but also we are not a team of half chances. We are not like United. We are not like Liverpool who convert those half chances all the time. And Trossard is one of the reasons why we are in the Champions League at this stage. So I don't see a point in people pointing fingers at Trossard at this point.
No, I think they have a point, right? We are at the business end of the season where everything counts. So if we had been little sharper, right, we could have definitely gotten 3 points out of this game. So yeah, I think that's where I think they are coming from. But yeah, obviously blaming just one player for this draw, 2 points drop doesn't make sense. But like I said, if we had been sharper, for sure we could have gotten 3 points.
So now that you've said it, right? Like 2 points dropped or 1 point gained. How do you see this?
I still, I see 2 points dropped only because given that we were at the top of the table, now it's not in our hands, right? There is no point. Even if we win 9 games and Liverpool wins the 9 games, Liverpool gets the title. So it is obviously 2 points dropped. But yeah, if we had to win all these 9 games, then we would have been 17 games straight winning, which is probably in the realms of City doing that miracle 2019, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully someone Liverpool drops points against United. Let's see.
That's a very, very difficult thing to hope for.
No, but like these guys turn up usually. Like United turn up when they're playing like a Liverpool or an Arsenal for sure. Like it's always a possibility. And like given the way they play, Liverpool play, United will have like open spaces that they can exploit definitely. Like Liverpool are getting away with a lot during the games. Like they don't play the best of their game. They get away with a lot. Like for me, like Mikkel said, we can afford to drop 4 points during this run. And that's a maximum. And if 2 of those 4 are going to be in this game, I would happily take it. Like this is probably the toughest game in the run, and like along with the game against United at Old Trafford, and I would like definitely take this for sure.
Mm. Okay, so I think we will also discuss about the rest of the league a little bit. But before that, for everyone listening, please do continue supporting. Like I know we have made this promise multiple times, but we will try and at least for the next 9 games and the Champions League games, we would try and do as much podcast as we can and put out content. And for everyone who wants to be part of this, please do reach out to us in our social media platform, and you can also comment in, and we'll try and reach out to you and bring you on the show, and we could discuss more things Arsenal. I think we'll continue with the rest of the PL for the week a little bit. So let me pull up the results. Oh, yeah, the weekend started with a great game. I mean,
that's the thing. It started with a banger and ended with like our game against City.
but Newcastle West Ham was such a how do I say, it's not like real fun or anything, but it also had like so much goals and so much drama that it was at some point I was just sitting back and going like, yeah, this
It was
is
like they would say like proper Premier League. Yeah,
Yeah,
it defined
Barclays
that. Yeah.
heritage. Yeah, it was like that. Like the way in which the game panned out and the goals that happened and the way in which they happened. Moyes had the game. And
yeah.
all of a sudden, he made like a few changes that brought everything down. He brought Calvin Phillips in, and someone was telling me like
Feel
the
sad
Calvin
for that
Phillips.
guy.
Yeah, someone said like, yeah, he's coming in, so they are going to concede, and that's exactly what happened. Like poor guy.
I mean, he's just lost it, right? Like he's just from one of the promising talent to now. I don't know what it's going to take for him to get back his form or like get back to the levels he was at. But even before that, I mean, we could say that yeah, Moyes had the game, but I think Newcastle had like 20 odd shots or wait, let me check. 24 shots. 24 shots. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But do you see?
It is like how Moyes plays, right? It is how West Ham play anyway. Like they like I said, what Arteta did was like a bit of Wenger, a bit of Graham, a bit of Moyes, like making sure that. But then like Moyes, like he messed things up in the second half, and like when he made the subs, and I was like, oh my god, they're going to lose this game, and that's what happened.
Right now,
Newcastle,
Harvey Barnes played really well. Actually, the moment he came in, the game like started. He came in at the right time, and it started like speeding things up, and it ended like really, really well for them. Yeah.
So both are at 7th and 8th position. Where do you think the next 9 games will take them?
It's tough to
I think
call.
West Ham have played an extra game, right?
Yeah. If Newcastle finish like in Europa League or the Conference League position, that's a win for us, given the amount of injuries they have had and the Tonali ban and stuff. They literally lost 5-6 first team players, I guess.
I see.
So let's move on to the next game, which was also like I actually watched parts of it, and then I was like, it's funny because we were slacking Burnley so much, and then they go to Chelsea. They have a red card. They go to Chelsea and come away with a 2-2 win. And
they should have won the game, actually.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I think what's his name? Who's the manager? Company.
Burnley Company.
Oh, company.
He was not there, right? He was on the red.
Yeah.
And the thing was, like, their red came in the 40th minute.
Yeah.
So this team playing at home had 50 minutes to score a goal and win the game. 50 minutes. And they didn't do it. It makes zero sense to me. I mean, like, you're playing how can this happen? Like,
they needed
a 20th place team for a reason.
They needed a penalty to start scoring.
Yeah. It was like, it made zero sense to me. I was like really curious. I was like, what are you guys doing? Why is this even like going to this extent?
I really wanted to ask you this, right? Like, because you were saying like, oh, Chelsea should stick with Pochettino. Like, at this point in season, do you still believe that they should stick with Pochettino?
Yeah. This one was totally on the players. The players were like really bad. Like, Not even like just bad. They were like horrible. Like it's you know where you are, right? You know where you are. You know who you're playing with. You know who you're playing against, and you see the clock. You have 50 minutes plus extra time.
But still,
If
this is like, see, there is 9 games left, right? Like 9, 10
right,
games left, and they are 11th placed, below Wolves. Do
yeah,
you
They can
think?
still finish seventh for sure. They are just 3 points behind seventh.
Yeah, but still, this is like after Chelsea investing so much money and Pochettino, who everyone claims as this like magical miracle worker. No one's stopping him, like no one's interfering him from picking the team that he wants, from training the team. I don't see like there is no performance on the pitch that I could say, oh, they have been well coached. They are going to go somewhere. Nothing. I could not see any pattern. I could not see any well coached behavior from this team. That's
They
what I'm
did
concerned.
have performance versus City. They played well against us. They have played well against these big teams.
Okay.
But
the,
when they go against the smaller teams, it's like watching some like I don't even know like how to put it in words. It's like watching like a banter club
no,
I
but
mean,
it's
doing some
also like
nonsense.
the fact we are talking about bad coaching, but then like the team that Pochettino has was not the team that he had any say in, right? Like we are failing to consider that totally. Like Chelsea just brought like about 40 players and then told them like do whatever you want with them. Nobody does that to a manager. Like it's like it's very similar to what United do. They buckle under pressure and buy like a big name just so like, and they don't care about whether the manager can work
Not
with the
this time.
player. No, not this
Not
time.
this time though.
I'm saying generally, but like in the 40 players that you gave to Pochettino, let's say even 10 are injured, right? He is for a manager who has not won a lot, and for a manager who is known for like helping youth and like working with younger players, sort of making them run and create something. He probably does not have the right profile of players, and he probably doesn't know half his players. So, like, that's why I said, like, putting the blame entirely on Pochettino for whatever's happening to Chelsea this season is very, like, short sighted. You bring in another manager, the players are not changing. So, what do you want the manager to do, especially when turn around and you're looking for senior players who can provide some solutions? The two senior players that you have in your team, one is Thiago Silva, who's 38, 39, doesn't speak the language and like is injured. And the other one is Sterling, who always plays like he doesn't care. So like it's just like when you have an environment like this, I know manager is the one who loses his job if things don't go well. But in this case, I don't think that would be right at all. Like any manager that they bring in at this point in time is set up for failure.
I'm
So the
happy.
only
I
option
mean,
that you
as
have
an
is
Arsenal fan, I'm loving this era of
oh yeah,
Chelsea.
I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the results. Like sometimes I feel frustrated that like we could just got a draw and we let them score 2 against us at the bridge.
But yeah,
But even then, like for me, it's like wow,
the point is
I'm loving all this.
they have reached a cup final, they have reached a cup semi-final. So they have been there. See, if they have won a cup and we had turned up with nothing, they would have bantered us to shit.
Yeah.
Glad that Liverpool beat them in the finals. And they got City in FA Cup semi-final. So obviously they're going to end up without any trophies. But they were pretty close to getting a trophy.
True. Okay. Next game is like Sheffield and Fulham, which was again a draw. I mean, I did not watch that game. I did not think that game would be interesting because, Sheffield. But they did
Yeah.
end up with a draw and still they are bottom of the league. They are below Burnley.
They are going to be. They're 15 points they have. No way they are going to survive this league.
It's like reminds me
for
of
Fulham,
Derby City.
my team to like take points of Liverpool is going to be Fulham.
Really? After they
I hopefully. I think they are playing really well, and it's an away game for Liverpool after couple of more away games, I guess. So hopefully Fulham takes couple of points of them, and they played really well against us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did. Next game is again Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace, one each. I thought Tony had a really decent game.
Yeah, he was good. Like
And
he like the thing is like he's not fast, but he makes up for it with a lot of conviction in his play. He knows what he has to do. He knows he can bully the defenders, and he knows he passes well. So like he played pretty well. For me, that was a game where United sort of almost like escaped from there with 3 points. Like I don't know how Brentford sort of like ended up drawing that game. It would have been grave injustice if they had lost that game. I was so glad when the equalizer went in. It was like, oh my god, yeah, something above exists that looks at all of these things and metes out justice. That's how I felt.
but the thing is, like Mason Mount coming in and scoring that 90 plus 6, and people are talking about, oh, he's gonna go to the Chelsea next, and you know what's gonna happen. I thought that like United had nothing in this game,
Nothing.
and even though
United fans are saying this is their worst game of the season after the Newcastle game. They were dog shit in this match.
Totally.
I mean, still
They should have lost 5-0.
Yeah, but still they ended up with 1-1. My thing is like, where do you think now they are in 6th place? Where do you think United will end up this season?
Sixth place. They are not catching Tottenham and Villa for sure.
No way. Yeah.
Okay.
The only place where they can do that is when like Spurs play us, City and Liverpool back to back to back. But then United also, like, it's like not just dependent on them, right?
Liverpool.
United need to do something. So they play us and they play Liverpool. So they also need to win their games. It's not just about Spurs losing or Villa losing. So given all this, like, I think they will finish 6th. Yeah, I don't see them breaking into the Champions League spots.
Bournemouth Everton, I did not watch it.
I did not watch it either.
So I don't think, but where do you think Everton will finish? Because of
They'll
all
be
this
safe.
thing.
I think they will escape relegation. Yeah. It's either between Nottingham Forest or Luton. Yeah, the other two are gone.
Talking about Luton though, the Tottenham game, I thought Luton had had something to take out of this game, but obviously it's not happened.
They have every game. They have something to take out. Luton, they just throw away leads. It's sad, but they are. I think they have been one of the best teams to come out of Championship and play this way in the Premier League for the last 3 years, or even last 5 years. They have been like a refreshing team. Every Luton game is a fun game.
Especially that guy, Barkley, is actually playing really well in Luton.
Yeah, he is. He's been like excellent this season for them.
And he's the one who's making things happen. Brain cell, right? Southgate, he would have selected Barkley in the England team.
but where will he play?
He will play, but he will play in the midfield. Or instead of selecting Henderson nonsense, he can select Barkley.
I mean, now
it feels like injustice, right? Like how much ever promise Kobe Mino has, it's only 6 games.
Yeah.
You're taking him over a guy who's been performing well throughout the season, and just because he plays for Luton, like Southgate's like he's got like completely, like, I don't know how he thinks about football, but sometimes it doesn't make sense.
I think we will have to do like more podcasts before the Euros to talk about these managers, especially like I am currently on a hate spree against Deschamps and Southgate. so I would have to have that somewhere, like, put out. Aston Villa Wolves, obviously Aston Villa won. I did not feel like Wolves did a lot in that game, but so did Aston Villa. Any chance that Aston Villa will finish any chance that Aston Villa will finish below Tottenham? They're not catching. They're not catching up to the top 3. But do you think that there
are chances, right? Both of them play all 3 of us: Liverpool, City, and Spurs. So yeah, people talking about just Spurs is going to decide title. everyone like is forgetting Villa to play all three of them as
Yeah.
well.
Mhm.
So yeah, so it's like it's going to be topsy turvy. So I think given that we have qualified, if we go to I think semifinals in Champions League, right? I think the fifth place also gets Champions League. So yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Last game, Liverpool Brighton. Obviously, Liverpool won, but I felt Brighton had a chance and they mugged up. Welbeck played really, really good in this game, I thought.
Yeah,
Where do you think Brighton is going to end up in? Ninth? They are ninth right now.
yeah. And
Yeah,
that is
I
also
mean, they
pretty close, right? 44 is West Ham, seventh place, and Chelsea or even Fulham is on 39.
Mhm.
It's like just 5 points is separating seventh and 13th. So yeah, you never know what is going to happen.
All right.
Hopefully, yeah, Brighton can win all the matches. Like after losing against us, I don't care. Yeah.
This is definitely the selfish Arsenal fan talking about it, but I would be happy with saying the exact statement too. But anyways, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I
Oh,
think
just a shout out to our women's team for winning the
oh yeah,
Continental
I
Cup.
actually I actually had that on my list and I completely forgot. Yeah, definitely. That was really great to see, especially
Yeah,
after like last couple of years where there has been a little dry run of like us not winning any cups to come back strong to play that game. And I think too it was also like very close and we had the support of our fan base behind them. It was great to watch them lift that trophy on the same day where we went
yeah.
to
It
Etihad.
probably saved Edeval's job too for that, at least until the end of the season.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
probably,
Yeah, I
and there
think
was
I
like,
think I think of all the good things he has done, I don't know. I feel like it's also this is probably a team that is underachieving its own potential. I think this team
Yeah.
deserves to be doing much better in the league and much better in the competitions. But I also feel that he's the one who kind of built this team to reach this potential. So yeah, maybe give him a little bit more time is what I would say. And absolutely massive, massive congratulations. Really happy to see that there is at least one trophy already in the cabinet
yeah.
for the Arsenal. So on that
Two
happy
more
note,
coming in.
2 more coming in. If that happens, I'm coming to the States to give you a pretty damn good gift. That's what will happen.
Yeah, man can dream. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining in, and hopefully see you after the next game. Bye.